the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good Thursday evening, race fans, and welcome to the Racing Network and our live coverage of the One2Nine Promotions Chili Bowl Nationals, Tulsa Expo Raceway. I got to admit, I think this might be the first time that we have ever covered a race inside the Expo live on this network. A lot of racing for you this evening. This show going to go on for just a little while. You are picking up things right before we get ready to start. The E-Main, and that will be the first race this evening. And I have the lineups, and I don't know where I put them, but I'm going to find them before we get going because I know they are here. Here we go. That's not the one. That is our lineup. We are going to have E main all the way up to the A main, including the pole shuffle. So we'll start getting ready. Driver's going to start rolling out here momentarily. Our E main tonight, about 15 guys. Top 6 are going to transfer through. It's going to be Trey Garst, Caden Folkerts, Julian Valdez, Enzo Spicola, John O'Brien, Kyle Turchik, Cullen Hutchison, Chase Weir, Dalton Schrum, Mason Coffey, AJ Nielsen, Jonathan Dolly, Matthew Rogers, Landon Baldwin, Matt Hancock, and Marshall Jacobs out here making laps for us. We get them rolled out here, get them lined up. They will get a couple of pace laps in, get ready to go green. Our E-main will be 14 laps. They are set for 18 drivers. Didn't mean to get that on the screen, folks. I'm trying to keep that fairly compact, and it just wants to keep shifting around on me, so I can't see what's going on. But we're going to get, it looks like we're missing a few of these guys right now. 9 drivers is all I see. Should have had 18. Nielsen, Spicola, Turzik, Schrum, O'Brien, Valdez, Hutchison, Weir, and Rogers all made it out. So just missing a few. It looks like we're going to get ready to go here. Maybe the next time by, might be waiting on one more to come out. Nope, just the 9. It looks like they're going to get them lined up. We should be dropping the green flag here momentarily. Looks like we are going to go green 14 times around. Little contact right here in the pack. Everybody going to save it. O'Brien backwards. I think we got a lap in there, but O'Brien backwards on the back stretch. And now maybe we're going to get the manual caution. That time Weir clipped him going by. Here's Matthew Rogers. But Spicola in second. And it looks like Turchik in the infield. Not sure what happened to him. He may have been a part of that. Valdez out in front right now. So I think we got one lap in the books before we toss the caution out there. So we'll see what they say. So it looks like the driver's going to get single file here. Only 8. 9th car maybe rolling out back there. Rogers here in 7th. It's O'Brien back there in 8th. Strom. Spicola. I think Nielsen joined us right here. Pretty late on this thing. But green flag back in the air. E-main back underway. Watching Nielsen. We're going to go back towards the front. Spicola. running in second right now. Peek back at O'Brien. There's your leader, Vasquez. 3 laps in the books. We're going to come by turns 3 and 4. Come around. It looks like maybe lap number 4 going to go to Spicola that time as he was up on the inside. He may have the lead coming out of 4 this time around to complete the 5th lap. That time Spicola by on the front stretch. A little hiccup there coming out of 2, and the gap's going to close back up. Halfway home the E-Main. Only 6 cars are going to transfer. Valdez, the 31 car, still fighting on the top side. In a transfer spot. Don't know how hard he needs to fight right now, but every row in the next race is a little closer to the front. I think we're down to 5 to go that time by. Should be 4 to go right here. Spicola out in front. Valdez is second. Look at Hutchison back here. Weir running there in the 4th spot. He's in a transfer position. Strum the car in 3rd. I think we're at 2 to go now. Hard to count the laps. We're in a practice session, guys, so I am kind of guessing, but I think I'm right. I think we're coming around to our white flag right here. Spicola out in front. Car sideways on the back stretch. I don't think that's going to bring out a caution. I think they're coming around. There's probably your checkered flag, I believe. It's going to be Spicola, Valdez, Schrum, Hutchison, Weir, all making the transfer. I think Nielsen also makes it through. So those 6 drivers going to join the back of the 12 in front of us. There'll be a D-Main and those guys. There'll be some names in there that if you follow the Dirt Racing Network, you will definitely recognize. Jonathan Paquette will be in this one. So will Aiden Perdue. Bryce Houndstein. We know Houndstein here at the Dirt Racing Network. He runs in one of the 360 series. Blackburn. Donald Blackburn, Chase Hodge, the Kiwi Conqueror, Craig Silby, James Roselli, Caden Kvapel, Brandon Stewart, Jason Waller, Nate McMillan, and Bailey Carter. All drivers that we recognize from other series around iRacing. That's Jonathan Paquette right there, the 48. Here comes Jason Waller. Waller in the 97. Now everybody's starting to roll out. There's Roselli and Hutchison. Valdez back on track. Donald Blackburn. That's the red and white machine right there, the 48. Brandon Stewart. That's the 18 car and Chase Hodge. Nate McMillan. Used to see McMillan's name quite a bit. Haven't seen it in a while, but good to see him back. Racing. Jason Waller Jr. Driver's getting a couple warm-up laps in. You see Cullen Hutchison backing it into the fence right there. I think he caught the berm on the inside. There's Valdez, second in the E-Main, transferred in. We'll go to the Kiwi Conqueror. That's the 7 car right there of Craig Silby. A.J. Nielsen's car coming around. The 09 machine. So the quick warm-up, get a little engine heat, get the guys going, coming to an end. They're going to get ready to bring them back out, line them up. 16 laps for the D-main. Do not be afraid to say hi in the chat. Don't care if you're over on YouTube, Twitch, or Trovo. Any of the Facebook pages. And if you are on Facebook, come by the Dirt Racing Network's Facebook page. Like, share, follow. Hit the subscribe button on the other three. Live racing pretty regular around the network. Got a lot of guys helping us out. They're getting them lined up on the backstretch in the order that they're going to start your D-main. And then they will roll them off. Should be 18 drivers for this. Top 6 will move to the C main. We're going to take a quick break in between the D main and the C main. Prep playing a little music. Swap servers. Get ready to go over. Are they going to roll them off? I see 15 of these drivers. I do not see... I'm not sure who I don't see. But the 48 car of Blackburn on the outside of that front row. He's next to that 49 machine. Or the 48 on the inside and on the outside. So I'm not sure... Is that Houndstein's not in the server, so we'll get them ready to go green. Not this time, but I believe the next time. Another driver just rolling out. That's Chase Weir in the 22 car down on that apron down there on the backstretch. Now he's going to find his way into line. Get him ready to go green. Out of 4, D-main. Underway. Slicing and dicing went from bottom to top to bottom on the front row. They swapped lines. And Hodge sitting there in third. A.J. Stewart back here. That's about 6th position for him. Blackburn now off the top side. Or off the bottom, excuse me. Blackburn's 48 on the bottom, and he got the lead going into 3 and 4. Don't think he's going to keep it coming out. He does lead that lap at the line by exactly 1 car length. Look at Bailey Carter. Jonathan Paquette. That is the black and white. Oh, he almost biked it down in 3 and 4, and he's going to go 3 wide. There's Silby right in there. There goes Paquette, and Paquette. Flip count for the evening. There's 1 for you. As he flips it right there, we're going to have a quick caution. We're going to go to the front. It'll be Blackburn out in front of this thing. I know Craig Silby was sitting there in third. I'm trying to figure out who it is in second. It's difficult to follow the numbers with these guys. I believe it's Chase Hodge in second in the 07, then Craig Silby in the 7 car. So it looks like we've got them lined up, about ready to go back to green. There's your throttle. There's your green flag. Oh, big crash on the front stretch, and I believe we're going right back to a yellow flag here. Well, we're trying to jump back and see who was in the crash, and the software does not really do that if we're not in a particular race session. We're doing this all in the pre-race practice session as we're doing it manually. So as we progress along, the software will get more and more involved in this. Right now we're having to try to do everything manually from site. Drivers getting them lined up, clearing them around down the front stretch. Probably about ready to go back to green. Still Blackburn out in front. Hodge second. Silby is third right now. Remember, top 6 are going to transfer. Oh, Strum got through. Spinning car on the backstretch. That was Valdez that spun out. And we have caution again for that, I believe. Chase Weir. And Weir is sitting there in about 5th spot. McMillan right behind him. Those are transfer spots right now. Drivers trying to get things sorted out. We're getting them back in order right here. Single file for our restarts. Back to the green flag. Blackburn once again. He didn't get quite as good a bite as I thought he would getting out of 2. The car kind of slipped, and Hodge going to close the gap. Now Chase Hodge around the top side. Trying to take the lead out of turn number 2, and he uses the momentum line to do exactly that. He'll lead him out of 3 and 4. Blackburn second. I saw Silby get a little bit up on the curb, and the car bounced around just a little bit. That's your third place car. Chase Weir still in 6th. A little bit of action at the front as Hodge starting to get away, and Blackburn got the car up on the bike and had to check Silby down. Now Silby gives up a spot to James Roselli. Trying to take it back, where Roselli fighting back on the top side. He may go 2 for 1 down here in 3 and 4 if he can keep his momentum up. Oh, that time Silby kind of got hung up. He's going to end up on the berm. So move Roselli to second. Roselli's behind Hodge. We'll go back here. Silby sideways in 3 and 4. I think he might be at the end of his. Schrum now up into the catbird seat. He's in 6th. Chase Hodge about to put a lap on the 7 car of Silby, and I think Silby just going to let him go. So Hodge way out in front of this one. Back here to the back, Schrum. Maybe the last car that transferred through. We know Hodge did. Roselli transferred as well. Weir transferred. We think Craig Silby may have just gotten knocked out right there. Bad luck with a couple of laps to go. Got into a little scuffle. Car got sideways. Ends up way at the back, and he did not transfer through. So Hodge got there. Picked up the win. He'll go to tonight's C main. As we start to dwindle down the field, that C main, the lineup looks pretty good. Landon Cardoza, Caleb Nickel, Darren Stark, Wade Fields, Kyle Hooper, Manning Urish, John Helms in the C main, Corey Roberts, Jaden Anderson, Bradley Cox, Zach Janes, and Brandon Pfeiffer, along with the 6 transferring from here. See Jace Parks' car out on. And Jace Park, I do not see his name in that C main. He is in the pole shuffle this evening. Looks like he's going to be going up against Kenny Miller in that pole shuffle as well. Pole shuffle loaded. A lot of guys, and some of them you're going to see the next couple of weeks out in Tulsa. Logan Rumseys. There's a bunch of these guys that actually race. And we get the fortune, the good fortune that is, of meeting them down in Tulsa and hanging out with them. So Jace Park getting some laps in. I see Landon Hathaway's in here, Landon Cardoza, Wade Fields, Colton Key. So I think we might be getting ready to go to a different server. We're going to go and check. If that's the case, we'll probably put things kind of on pause. We'll put a little bit of music on for you guys while we do make the switch, so you don't have to hear all the crazy behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on. Well, welcome to the chat, boys. I hope that's a little tongue-in-cheek there, Mr. Petty. We try to keep things friendly. We have a good time here, DRN, when we do our broadcast. We can rib each other. There is nothing wrong with that. We just try not to stir up too much nonsense. All right, just waiting to see if we are swapping servers. It looks like we're going to be swapping servers. So let's do this for you guys. Let's have a little fun. Let's put a little bit of music on here. Get ready to swap over. We'll go to another server here momentarily. These guys will sit in here and they'll work on the set, try to figure out if the track's going to be slick, what they're going to do, all that stuff. But in the meantime, we, as a group, can migrate to the next chapter. And when we come back, we're going to have C main and then I believe our B main and pole dash coming up. So in the meantime, let's do this. Sit back and enjoy. We'll be back on air in just a moment. working our way into the C main, the B main, and I believe we're doing the pole dash in this session as well. We'll confirm whether we're doing the pole dash in this session or not, or we're waiting until the session with the A main in it. 55 lap feature for you tonight. Guys out here just warming up. This is our C main, B main, and the transfer cars from the D main. If you're not already a subscriber to one of the channels, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Trovo, make sure you hit the subscribe button on the three ladder, and on Facebook, come by the Dirt Racing Network's Facebook page. Like, share, and follow. Lots and lots of racing. Next week, regularly scheduled programs, 2 on Sunday, 2 on Monday. 1 on Wednesday, 1 on Thursday. That following week, though, guys, Dirt Slingers Racing League, Triple Crown Showdown, 360 non-wing sprint cars, UMP modified, super late models, prelim nights, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, last chance qualifiers on Thursday, and then the big show on Friday. All 60 drivers that qualify through in the 3 divisions, in one server, full shows for all 3. Pretty much a manually run show, but this is their second annual time for that, and last year's was a blast. They put on one heck of a show. Going to be over at Lernerville Speedway. You want to register for it, you drop by the Dirt Slingers Racing League Facebook page. There is a link in the post about the Triple Crown Showdown. You can fill out the registration form. They'll get you in there. Be more information forthcoming. Prizes to be announced sometime next week. All the payouts and any other prizes donated by all the sponsors. So if you're interested in that, be sure you drop over there and you check that out. A few more minutes here with these guys, and then we'll get our 2 final consolation races into the books. Oh, Anthony Woodhull. See you in the chat there. Looks like Donald Blackburn did hang on and transfer through. I wasn't sure after that hard lick he took in that D main over there a little bit ago. Nathan Bowman having all kinds of trouble. All right, C-Main will be 18 laps. It's 18 cars scheduled to be there. The top 6 are going to go into the B. That B-Main will be 20 cars, 20 laps, and the top 6 will fill in the remaining spots left in tonight's A-Main. Then we're going to have our pole shuffle and the 55 lap. 1-2-9 Promotions Chili Bowl Nationals. Let's see. Dalton Schramm. I do not believe I see his name in this server. I don't know that he transferred through out of the last one. I think he was 7th, and they only took 6. Yeah, I do not see Dalton Schramm's name on the driver list for this. Doesn't mean you can't stick around and watch the rest of it. Should be a pretty good one. Oh, boy. Ethan Huey.
Yo,
How you doing this evening, buddy?
doing well, just trying to work out all this race control stuff.
Race control stuff. What are you not doing out in the car? I'm used to seeing you on the track, man.
Yeah, I had to help admin the lower mains.
Ah, so we're going to see you in tonight's feature.
Yeah, and the
Well.
whole shuffle also.
Well, what are you gonna be expecting? Not just for these last couple of consies, but when you get to that pole shuffle and we get ready to put that 55 lapper out there on the track, how do you think it's going to go tonight?
I think it'll go well. I'd say I have a decent shot at getting the win here. We've been practicing a lot, and yeah, hopefully it goes the way we want to.
Yeah, it looks like other than a few little oopses so far through the minor mains that we've been through, it looks like everybody's handling the track pretty good. Flip Kent's still way down. You think that's going to increase as we start to get into the elimination time?
Possibly, yeah. Probably in the B, it's going to get pretty dicey. Maybe in the feature also, just because everybody's going to be competing for the top 3 spots, just because that's what the payout is.
Well, I guess we're going to have to pay attention and see kind of how that goes. But, man, we appreciate taking a minute to chat with us, and good luck when you get out there in the pole dash tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
All right, Ethan Huey. He's going to be, I believe, in the second race for the pole dash tonight, so we'll see how that goes for him. We are waiting for tonight's C-Main to get going here. Appreciate everybody livening up the chat. Oh, I didn't see your name. Oh, there's Dalton Schrum. Now I see his name in the chat. You must have joined late, brother, because I didn't see your name. Any moment now, going to be moving on and heading into tonight's C main, and then we'll move on to the B main. Once we do that, there'll be another short break while we fix the track a little bit and get ready for tonight's feature. We're going to have our pole dash before we have our feature. We talked to Ethan Huey a minute ago. He's in the pole dash tonight, and he'll be starting in the feature. That pole dash is going to determine where he starts at. Great list of drivers for that pole dash. Hannigan, Huey, Tiernan, the dirt track terror, James Tiernan in there. Gage Stevens, Kenny Miller, Brian Hughes, Noah Carpenter, Cody Parmley, Isaac Soros, Logan Rumsey, Colton Key, Jace Park, Austin Drickey, and James Stoles all being in the pole dash. That'll be in the next session. We got a couple of races here before they come out and do a little track maintenance. And it'll be time for the big show behind that. Do not forget to get over to Dirt Slingers Racing League and register for their Triple Crown Showdown. December 26th through December 30th. 3 prelim nights, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 360 wingless sprint cars. UMP modifieds and super late models on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, respectively. And then last chance qualifier will be on Thursday. And the big show on Friday for that series. Prizes being gathered up and ready to announce. Should be announced midweek next week. There is a link and a post over there at Dirt Slingers Racing League for Triple Crown Showdown. You go fill it out. They'll get you in. You can choose one or all three. You can try to qualify for all 3 nights, but on finals night, you can only race in one. So you have to choose before Thursday which one you are going to be in. They'll put 20 drivers on Friday night from each division, all 60 cars in one server. Each division will have their own full show. It's a big deal. It's the only one like it on the service, so don't miss it. Good to see you guys in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. If you got a favorite driver, shout them out. You never know, those drivers could be watching. Just waiting for him to decide the track is worked in far enough. And that may have happened. Is everybody pretty much bringing them to a stop one way or another? I think we're about ready to roll our C main out onto the racing surface. That C main, again, 18 laps with 18 cars. 6 are going to transfer into the B main. LeMay, why don't I see you in here? I see you in the chat. When I see your name on this list of drivers for this shuffle. All right, looks like we're rolling cars out. Cardoza, the first of those. And Cardoza's name is at the front. And so it looks like he should be the pole sitter. Noah Bowman. That's Caleb Nickel pulling up beside him. There's Urish's car. Darren Stark, the 55 car. 71, that looks like old Wade Fields. It surely is. Well, you know, that might be true, but since this is just a simulator. I'm just going to go with you were scared, Greg. And if you're scared, just say you're scared. It's okay. Somebody, I'm sure, has a shirt or a jean pocket maybe you can hop into and you can feel safe and warm. I'm just pulling your leg, man. It's good to see you in the chat, though, brother. Get them out. Drivers rolling it around, getting them lined up. Should be Cardoza on the pole, and it is Cardoza. I believe Caleb Nickel will be starting on the outside. Now, I can't even get these cars to not spin out trying to come out of the pits. I have no idea how to drive these little suckers. So anybody that can do it is almost a hero. So at least one more time around, we got drivers trying to figure out where their spot is in the line. Looks like Wade Fields is going to drop into the outside of the second row. So drivers ready to go. Not sure if we're going green this time or next time. It's going to be next time. This thing's scheduled for 18 laps. Cardoza and Nickel. Green flag in the air. C-Main underway. Cardoza got a great start. 55 Machinist Stark moved right into the second spot. Nickel sitting in third and Fields sitting in the fourth spot. Ooh, Fields almost got into the back of Nickel right there. Had to check up. Oh, it's going to open things up. There's one bouncing around on two wheels. Got one tumbling behind. 2 laps in the book. I don't know. We may be going to a caution. We're not sure who even tipped over back there, but 2 laps in the book. Still 16 to go. We're under caution. Going to keep an eye. Cardoza in the lead. Stark is second. Nickel third. Fields is fourth. I'm not sure. I don't have a car number on the car in the 5th spot there. There's Schrum. He's about 8th or 9th right now. Roselli. So we are back to green. Through 1 to 2 down that short backstretch right there. 3 laps in the book, 15 to go. Out of 1 and 2. Down the backstretch. It's very quick around here. These guys putting them down in about 10.5 seconds. 4 down, 14 to go. Still Nickel in third. Fields no longer fourth. He has moved back to the 5th spot. We still don't know who that is. Is that no, it's not Zach James' car. It's Bradley Cox's car. No, Cox is right there in 7th. Make it 6th. Cox is in 6th. Zach James is in the 5th spot. So your top 6. Yurish away off of the pace back here. He's way at the back of this thing right now. Blackburn's right in front of that. These guys about 14th in this thing. We're about 7 laps in right here. Still got about 11 to go. No, cars sliding all over the pace back at the back. Pfeiffer trying to find a way in. His caution is out again. Wade Fields had a little bit of a problem. I think Fields' car heavily damaged. I don't know if he's coming back out or not. But it is still Cardoza out in front. Stark is second. Nickel third. I think we have about 10 laps left in the C-Main. That's Jaden Anderson in the 4th spot. Bradley Cox is 5th. Or Bradley Cox is 6th, and Zach Janes, is in the 5th spot. So your top 6 covered right there. Looking in behind that, Pfeiffer is right there. Right on the outside looking in. So trying to figure out the order, make sure everybody's in their correct spots. We know the top 5 or 6 are correct. Looks like these guys are starting to tighten up a little bit here. We may be going green out of turn number 4. Haven't got the signal from race control yet, but it does look like we do now. As we're back under green in the C main. About 10 laps remaining. Still Cardoza, he's led it since we dropped the green flag. Stark settled into second quickly. Anderson's back here trying to take third from Nickel, and I don't know. That was pretty tight racing right there. He was trying to thread the needle. This time, little contact, so move Nickel back 1-2 spots. As now he gets into contact with Janes. Janes moves up to the 4th spot. Nickel back to 5th. Blackburn there in 7th. We're trying to figure out who is right in front of that. Is it still Anderson? Anderson's up front. Cars into the fence, back at the back. I want to say that was Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer's car went into the fence. He's going to get it off track so they can stay green. We're down to about 5 laps to go here. The battle's for the lead. Stark and Cardoza going at it. Both drivers bumping the outside wall with the right rear. Oh, and that time Cardoza with more than a bump. He got into it hard. He's going upside now. That's going to shake things up. Stark now the leader. We're going to have caution, I think, with the 2 or 3 laps to go right here. Anderson moves up to 2nd. Zach Janes in 3rd. Caleb Nickel in 4th. Chase Hodge in the 5th spot. Donald Blackburn in 6th. And Manning Urish is in 7th. So war of attrition in the C main tonight. We're down to about 7 cars remaining in this thing. Cardoza leading. Bumped the fence on the front stretch, goes around in the back stretch and kills the wall. As we go back to green, just a couple of laps remaining in this one. C main and only your top 6 transfer. Here comes the battle for 2nd. Stark out in front. He's coming around. We're down to about the white flag right here. Jane's still in 3rd, but tried to take 2nd away from Anderson. Couldn't get it done. So they'll come out of 4. Stark. Looks like he's going to stay out front, and we might have had 3 laps left right there. And I might be wrong. This thing might be over. That could be it right there. So Stark, Anderson, Janes, Caleb Nickel, Chase Hodge, and I believe Donald Blackburn are the 6 that transferred through. A lot more difficult when it is a practice session and our tickers don't work quite the way they're supposed to. We get to the feature, that'll all be fixed up, boys. So we're going to move on to tonight's B main. It's 20 cars, 20 laps. Six cars will fill in the remaining spots for tonight's A main. Quick break while we get the track reworked, then we'll come back and do pole shuffle. Drivers for tonight's B main getting a little bit of a warm up in, figuring out exactly where the track's going to be. Want to make sure we say thanks to all the sponsors. The Edgy Neighbor, M9, and TPD for tonight's event. And a big thank you to One2Nine Promotions for reaching out and having us come cover the event for them. Just the final night. They've been racing the last 2 nights to get to where we are now. We got it down to the a little bit of alphabet soup that fits in about 1 spoon. And we are going to bring it in here and finish it up. Just a couple, 3 more events left here. B main, and then we'll have a pole shuffle. And the 55 lap A main this evening. Drivers starting to make their way out. It should be Landon Hathaway on the pole. Noah Bowman, Grayson Springer, Preston Latimus. Garrett Halsey, there's another name familiar to viewers of DRN. Joe Johnson, Cody Williams, Aiden Myers, Connor Mirabelli, Anthony Woodhull. I saw Woodhull in chat. I didn't know you were in that B main, Anthony. Rylan Gray, Jaden Wolf, Tyler Carter, Chase Bacola, and all the drivers that transferred through from that B main. Stark, Anderson, Janes, Nickel, Blackburn. They should all be in there right now. Looks like Hathaway going to take it to the front, and he should be next to Noah Bowman. Bowman in the 2 car. That's the black car with the pink numbers on it out there. So they're all bunched up in turn number 3. They'll start to roll off. They'll get double file. 20 laps for the B main this evening. Couple 2 or 3 laps while they organize our 2 wides. Get them ready to go. Once this one is over, we'll have a short break. We'll play some music for you guys again. We'll play something different. We will not play that same old stuff that we played before. Driver's about ready to get at it. Ooh, not a good start for your pole sitter. It looks like the car stumbled right there. That's going to stack things up behind. But we are going to go to green, and Bowman's going to grab the lead. They're going to throw the caution. I think we're going to fix things up and resettle and restart these guys. That was just a really wonky start off the pole there by Hathaway. Looked like he started to go. The car stumbled. Everybody else went, and then it just caused a big stack up behind. So it looks like they're single filing them up. I believe this is just to check the order and see who is there. Make sure everybody is still in line. Got 18 of our 20 still out here. Get to the feature tonight. We think we've got the drone cam working, so maybe we'll be able to get the drone out there. But now, green flag in the air. And the B main finally underway. Flip count starting to crawl up, and you heard Huey say that before we ran the C main that he thought it might start to pick up a little bit once we got into tonight. Oh, that camera not really working. Watch here out of turn number 4. 3 laps in the book, 17 laps remaining. All right now, Hathaway and Bowman 1-2, and they're starting to drive away a little bit. Let's go check. Rylan Gray is back here. That is in about 5th place. Only the top 6 going to survive. Look back a little bit deeper, looking at Chase Picola. Flip count, caution might be coming out here. So we'll widen things out. Everybody going to get them slowed down. And Johnson looked like he was having some problems. That car very broken. Yeah, he entered pit lane. He entered pit lane at a pretty high rate of speed. So Hathaway's still out front, about 4 laps in the books on this deal. Whoops, for tonight's B main. Hathaway and Bowman 1 and 2. Restart. Lap number 5. Watching Bowman. Bowman trying to chase down Hathaway. Starting lap 6. Rylan Gray up to that 4th spot. Gray trying to chase down the 24 car. That's Grayson Springer right there. Now works to the inside. Springer went to the top side in turn number 2. I think Gray lost the front end there down in 3 and 4, so he'll settle back in. Aiden Myers in that 5th spot. Myers losing ground to Gray. The battle's starting to heat up behind that. Woodhull a little ways back. Mirabelli trying to get in here and battle for that 6th and final spot. He's hanging on to it at the moment there in the 9 car. That's your final transfer. He is working the top side, trying to run right up there against the cushion, right against the outside wall. Doing a pretty good job of keeping the 9 car up at the top. About halfway right now. And still Hathaway out in front. And he and Bowman have broken away from everyone else. Get a look. Where's Garrett Halsey? Garrett Halsey in the mix. Oh, car going to go over back here. I'm not sure who that is. There's Spicola. Spicola in about 8th place right now. Let's go back to Myers. Myers still runs in the 3rd spot. May get the 5th spot now as he's falling back a little bit. Rylan Gray up here battling. He was battling pretty hard for that 3rd spot with Grayson Springer. But Hathaway having his way with these guys, getting close to the 5 to go mark here. Got about 6 to go that time by. And I'm not sure if we're under caution or if that actually ended up being the 20 and we were just that far off on the count. hard to keep a count on these. We'll be able to do a whole lot better with the feature tonight because it'll be an iRacing official session. So all of our B main drivers finish things up. Our 20-car A main is settled. We're going to have 14 of those drivers come out and go after the pole dash. So I think we're going to be changing servers. Some drivers getting some extra laps in here. I see Jace Park back in again. There's the dirt track chair. There's old James cheering in the 32 car. The old Pepsi Challenger machine right there. That's pretty familiar. Remember somebody famous drove a Pepsi Challenger machine. I was pretty sure it was white, though. I don't think it was black. In the USAC ranks, anyway. I think that car was white back in the late 80s. Just looking to see where my next trip is going to be and where the server is going to come. I think we're going to be moving here momentarily. We'll do it just like we did the last one, folks. I will give us a funky screen and we'll play a little music, make the swap over, maybe try to talk to at least one driver if we can, if we have time. There's Trent Pullman. Mr. TPD himself in chat down there. Just waiting for the official word that the server is ready to go. I think a lot of these guys are getting ready to head out. They're getting ready to go to that new server. But all this leading up to our 55-lap A main, which will be taking place after the pole dash. Jace Park still getting laps in. Appreciate everybody hanging around. We are just waiting for the official word to change servers from race control. Just a couple of small events left. Pole dash. And then the big A main. Guys, don't forget 2 shows this coming Sunday. Midwest Dirt Racing, their Street Stock Series, and Down and Dirty Outlaws 360 Wing Sprint cars. Then Monday night, Dirt Slingers, back-to-back shows. They'll have their 360 wing sprint cars. I believe that one's going to be from Lincoln. And then the non-wings will follow the wings on Monday night. Tuesday night, open night. Wednesday night, ADS back with their 360 wing sprint car series. And then Thursday night again, Elite Performance Industries 410 non-wing sprint cars. But the signal has been given. It is time for us to head next door. So we're going to throw some music on for you. Swap servers when we come back. Pole dash. 3 laps per dash. Knocking these guys out, getting them into their starting order, and then they will have their 55-lap A main coming up right after that. So we'll be back in just a second. Until then, let's enjoy some tunes.
I've been overworked and underpaid. Lord knows I could use a raise. And a week full of Saturdays to put my mind at ease. I've been holding out, I've been holding on. I've been a little too good for a little too long. Counting down the hours till Friday. Tonight I'm gonna get a little sideways. Cause there's a beer needs drinking. Some long neck bottles need clinking. I've got some pop tops and it's 5 o'clock. And I know you know what I'm thinking. There's a lie needs a wedding. And some problems that need forgetting. It's a raise your glass and tip it on back kind of weekend. Cause there's a beer needs drinking. Things to do today. The grass needs mowed and the bills need paid. I ought to change the oil into Chevrolet, but it's all gonna have to wait. Cause there's a beer needs drinking. Some long neck bottles need clinking. I've got some pop tops and it's 5 o'clock. And I know you know what I'm thinking. There's a line needs a wedding. And some problems that need forgetting. It's a raise your glass and tip it on back kind of weekend. Cause there's a beer needs drinking. They say why put off till tomorrow what you could get done today. And there's a 6-pack in the cooler, and I can hear one calling my name. And there's a beer needs drinking. Some long neck bottles need clinking. I got some pop tops and it's 5 o'clock. And I know you know what I'm thinking. And there's a line needs a wedding. And some problems that need forgetting. It's a raise your glass and tip it on back kind of weekend. Cause there's a beer needs drinking. And there's a beer needs drinking. I wake up in the morning about 12 p.m. Too much Jack and too much gin. My head's still pounding like a big bass drum. I reach over for an accent, but they're already gone. Another crazy night this cowboy's life. 'Cause I do what I wanna, do what I please, and all the bartenders let me drink for free. Everybody knows my name, and to me, you know it's just a game. Well, I get on stage and give the fans my heart, singing every night in a local bar. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. Today in the life of a hillbilly rock star.
All right, we made it into the new server. This is where it will all commence and where it will all come to a conclusion. Pole dash, head-to-head competition. Drivers will go for 3 laps. Losing a driver will be eliminated from the pole dash. That will start to fill in the first 7 rows in tonight's 55-lap A main. Should have 20 drivers right now. I see 18 of them logged in. Appreciate everybody sticking around. I know it's been a long one. A lot of server switches. I want to thank my man Reed Foley for providing that last bit of music there. All right. Don't know how long they're going to let this go. Just a few minutes, I think. They want to work the track down flat as they turn the entire top of the track over. 18 of them out there. Give them just a few minutes. Some of these guys have not been on track at all this evening. The 14 or 15 that are out there, I know none of them have been. You got drivers like Ryland Gray that came in from the B main. Noah Bowman. So they were on track in the last server, and that track completely different now. But the 14 drivers that have sat patiently all night long and waited for us to get to this point, not a lap. Yeah, Jace Park got some laps in some of the other servers, but I just think those were rhythm laps more than anything, because he couldn't learn much, because this track going to be completely different when we get here tonight. Do we have drivers in over there? We did not have too many. Let's, where's Parmley? He's going to go in the first one. Let's go get Cody Parmley. Cody Parmley, you got a copy.
What'd you say?
So Roger Wagner, the DRN booth, man. I want to get with you real quick before you guys get to this pole dash thing. How you feeling about your chances tonight in the pole dash, and then to turn that right around, maybe parlay it into winning this big 55-lap feature this evening?
I hope I do good, to be honest. I mean,
well, it looks to me like you're going to be up against Mason Hannigan in the pole dash, and I know the Little Hurricane. We see him on DRN a lot of different series. We know he can be a tough competitor. How are you going to beat him in the pole dash?
I just hope the track goes up to the top, because I'm going to be starting second, and I hope I get around him in the first lap and take it from there.
Yeah, it's going to be a long road to hoe. Are you guys the first or the last group out? I'm not sure which order you're going in here. I
think me and Mason will be the last group.
Very, very, very good, very good. So yeah, if you can get the car on the pole tonight, your chances obviously look to go up. But what do you expect this track to do, especially with 55 laps in the feature? After all the warm-up, after all the practice, after all the pole dash, it's really going to have to just be a topside track, is it not?
I hope it is, but also I hope it's kind of on the bottom, because I feel decent on the bottom, good enough to somewhat win. Well,
what we're going to do here, we're going to let you get back to it. I'm sure you want to get some more practice laps in. We're going to wish you luck, tell you thank you for chatting with us, and we hope to get a chance to talk to you at least on the podium at the end of this thing.
I hope.
All right, Cody, good luck out there tonight.
Thank you.
So right now, 19 of our 20 cars have actually checked in to the pits. I think they're going to get ready to do the pole dash here pretty quick. Drivers just getting a few laps in. Well, then we're going to have to hook up. I'm going to be there either Friday or Saturday or maybe both. I haven't, it depends on my work schedule, Davis. Man, we're so busy I can't hardly even, I haven't had a day off in like 3 weeks, but at least it doesn't feel that way. If I have had, I don't remember it. But we're planning on trying to come down for at least Friday or Saturday and hang out and say hi to everybody and check things out. So we'll definitely have to PM back and forth a little bit and see if we can at least have that meet and greet we've been trying to do for, I don't know, a while. Need to get your ugly self signed up for that Triple Crown Showdown deal. It's good to see you in the chat at least. I haven't seen you in the server in a while, but at least it's good to see you in chat. Still only 19 of our 20. It's going to be pole dash, pole shuffle. And then we're going to have the 55 lap A main. Well, there is that, but here's the thing about that, and you've heard me say this a million times. Everybody's on the same stuff. So, I mean, if it's a little broke for you, it's a little broke for everybody else. So enjoy it while you can. I wish they'd fix, and I did see a post that was shared to me where they have at least come to the front and said, hey, you know what, we've kind of dropped the ball on fixing some stuff in dirt. We're going to work on that during this next build in Season 2, 2023. They're going to try to have some fixes for us. So you know how staunch I am about their releases of garbage, etc. But I am going to give them the benefit of the doubt because they initialized the chat and said that they have really kind of dropped the ball. And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and see if they can go ahead and fix things. But if Season 2 rolls around and this stuff is still as bad as it was, that may be the swan song for Big Daddy. I may be done with this stuff. Should be getting ready to move along. Here comes word from Race Control. So it looks like we're going to get ready to go here pretty quickly. This word coming in from Race Control. They are getting ready to pull the drivers off the track, go over a couple of things with them here pretty quick, and get ready for this pole shuffle deal. Well, either way, we're definitely going to have to get together and have a beer or something over there, Davis. So I will be in touch with you that week. Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that, Nathan. I don't even remember who I was talking to. I said 6 years in March this year for DSRL. And I can remember the first couple of years when, man, it was so much fun, and we had such good fields and such big fields of drivers, and just getting into a feature in that league was a pretty big deal. And now it's so watered down and everything's so broken and nobody wants to do it that everybody and their uncle can get into a feature somewhere, and the racing just isn't nearly as good. And I hope they fix the broken stuff and bring some people back, because all the top-tier drivers kind of made their way away from it because they won't fix stuff. And I hope that's speaking some volumes over there. Maybe that's why they're doing what they're doing or saying what they're saying. And then as long as they back up the words with a little bit of action, I think you'll start to see maybe some of that come back. At least that's my hope. That's why I'm holding out that one glimmer right there. But so you're here Wednesday through Saturday. Well, definitely let me know. Like I said, we'll get together. We'll drink a beer. I imagine Ernie's probably going to be down with Tim, so we might whoop on him just a little bit or something and hang out with the boys and have a good time. Be fun to get together. We've been trying to do this forever, so I plan on being up that way this coming summer, but I'm not sure when yet. At least be across the river from you there. Just waiting for him to pull that trigger. Pull these cars off the track. Things starting to look a little dicey out there. All 20 drivers seem to have made their way into the server now. So all 20 feature drivers ready to go. So pole dash about to come about here, about to launch. I appreciate everybody staying up. The viewership's still up high. The number's good. We appreciate that. Don't be afraid to say hi on the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. If you got a favorite driver, make sure you shout them out as well. You never know, they could be watching. Just waiting on this warm-up session to come to a close. Thought it was coming to a close here momentarily a couple of minutes ago, but I think another driver or two made their way in. Grayson, Clark Summit, PA. Well, thanks for being over on YouTube and chiming in. John, Bryson, I see you there. Not sure exactly what we're waiting on for this one, but we're getting ready for our pole dash. And here we go. I think pole shuffle about ready to start now. They finally got everybody in order. I think everybody's in the server that's supposed to be. I think we're going to pole dash here, and I think we're going to get Noah Carpenter and James Stoles as our first pair. 3 laps. And I might be wrong. It looks like Brian Hughes, Austin Drakey, Noah Carpenter, and Aston Rodriguez are supposed to be. So there is Carpenter, Hughes, Drakey, Aston Rodriguez. I'm not even sure I see that name. I see Justin Stoles. I don't see Rodriguez in there. So the top two are going to move on, and your 13th and 14th place starters will be your two, and we don't call them losers, we call them non-winners from this pole shuffle. Drivers lined up 3 laps, all they get. Green flag out in the first. Racing our pole shuffle underway. And Hughes to the front. He got there pretty quickly. Carpenter sitting in that second spot. 1 lap in the books, 2 laps to go. Hughes still out front. Drakey up to second. Got around the outside. White flag in the air. It looks like Hughes and Drakey, if they can hang on to this, you're going to make it into round number 2. They will. You'll have Stoles starting 13th. And I believe Noah Carpenter will be our 14th place starter in tonight's A main. Your first 2 transferring into the next race. Going to have Hughes going through. And Noah Carpenter, I believe. And they're going to face off now with Gage Stevens and Jace Park. And we've seen Jace Park on track pretty much all night long. And your 2 non-winners out of this deal will be the 11th and 12th place starters. There's Park's car. There goes Gage Stevens. That's the green car rolling around turn 2 over there. Hughes already on track. And there comes Drakey. He got around and out pretty quickly. So they will line up with Stevens and Park on the front row. And then Hughes and Drakey in a row 2. And I don't know who that is. That is Stevens' car that is just blinking all over the place tonight. We may not be able to watch it. We'll have to probably watch Jace Park and see what happens. 3 more laps. Top 2 move on. Back to row number 6 in the 55-lap A main. So we should be green this time out of turn number 4 for 3 laps. Pole shuffle race number 2. There's your green flag. Gage Stevens with a big blink right there. 2 laps to go. Stevens got the lead. Park is being challenged by Brian Hughes right now, side by side, as they'll come around to the white flag in race number 2. Still Stevens out front, 3 wide through turn 2, coming down the backstretch. I don't know where that green car went, but it looks like Hughes and Park are going to go 1-2 in this one. As Gage Stevens just gone from the server. And so Hughes is going to transfer into the 4th race. So he is crawling his way up, and Chase Park will go with him. So Stevens got knocked out, and your 6th row is finalized. Now we're going to move on. It'll be Kenny Miller and Colton Key along with Jace Park and Brian Hughes. So there's Key's car. That's the green and white machine rolling around. And then here comes Kenny Miller. And Miller, the black and red machine. So row 5 will be decided here. Top 2 will move on to the next race. They'll have their hands full in that next one. That's for sure. 3 laps once again. This time Miller and Key on the front row. Miller on the throttle. Green flag in the air. Race number 3 for the pole shuffle underway. One lap in the book. Contact back there. I want to say that's Key. And that was Jace Park that got together. So now the battle for the lead going to be Kenny Miller and Brian Hughes. And Hughes is working his way through this pole shuffle like he's coming through the alphabet soup. We're coming around to the white flag in race number 3. And Brian Hughes and Kenny Miller are duking it out side by side. And Miller is going to take this one. Hughes in second, Park and Key third and fourth. So those guys are going to make up the 5th row in tonight's A-Main as Brian Hughes once again transferring through. He and Kenny Miller going to start in behind James the Dirt Track Terror Tiernan and Logan Rumsey. So Miller and Hughes already out. There comes Rumsey. Rumsey, all black machine with the green tail tank. Number 41, always on that car. And now here comes the 32 of James Tiernan. Tiernan will have the pole. Rumsey will be on the outside. Then your 2 transfer cars from race number 3. This is for row number 4. 2 non-winners in this one. We'll fill in row number 4 for tonight's feature. Top 2 will transfer into race number 5. As we get ready to go, green flag in the air. Pole shuffle, race number 4 underway. Tiernan grabbing the lead. Here comes Rumsey. Rumsey around the top side. He's going to grab second. 2 laps to go. Miller and Hughes side by side, and Hughes couldn't get by Miller. Moved him up the hill in 3 and 4. Still can't get around him. White flag coming out this time. It is all James Tiernan out in front. Rumsey hot on his heels with Miller and Hughes running a 3rd and 4th, and the checks are coming out of turn number 4. Tiernan and Rumsey off the front row will transfer into the 5th pole shuffle race. That's the end of the road for Hughes and Miller. They will have row number 4 to start tonight's feature. So the 5th race, and we just keep getting stronger and stronger as we go up that ladder. Ethan Huey, we talked to him in the pre-race about his chance, and he's got to go up against Isaac Soros. And then you bring in James Tiernan, you bring in Logan Rumsey. Don't make a mistake, I can tell you that, because all 4 of these guys will jump on you like a rat on a Cheeto. You only get 3 laps. So Huey, the dark blue car with the yellow trim. Soros, the all-black machine on the outside. And then the black car with the red wheels on the inside of the back row is Tiernan and Rumsey in that black and green machine. Green flag in the air. 5th pole shuffle race of the evening. Tiernan trying to move Soros up the hill. Huey leads lap 1. Now Tiernan with a slider, and he moved Soros. Soros, all kinds of problems. He's not going to make it through there. Tiernan going to work up to second, but Rumsey's right there. White flag in the air. Rumsey had the inside. Tiernan uses the slider line. Looks like he's going to hang on to it. Huey's going to win it, and he's going to the final. And James Tiernan by a nose will move on as well. So Rumsey and Soros in row number 3. So now we'll get to the finals, and this is a good one. You're going to have Tiernan, Huey, and they're going to take on the little Hurricane Mason Hannigan. And we talked to him just a few minutes ago. Cody Parmley. So Parmley, the blue car with the purple tail tank. There's the red, white, and blue machine, the 1X of Mason Hannigan, Ethan Huey. Inside of the second row, and I thought I saw Sorensen's car. I do not see Tiernan. Here comes James Tiernan. Tiernan now rolling out, and he'll be on the outside of row number 2. So all 4 cars out there. This is it. Winner gets the pole. Everybody else fill in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in tonight's AMA. Should get the green. 3 more laps. Front 2 rows to be decided right here. And the pole. We'll try to talk to our pole shuffle winner at the end of this one. Hannigan's on the throttle. Green flag falls over the final pole shuffle race. And Hannigan through 3 and 4. He leads the first lap. 2 to go. Here comes Ethan Huey. Huey down on the bottom, working on the inside of Parmley. Huey trying to advance to start on that front row. White flag in the air. Final lap for your pole shuffle. And Hannigan's got it planted out front firmly by about 20 car lengths. It's going to be Mason Hannigan for the pole this evening to start the 55-lap A-Main. Ethan Huey was 2nd, Cody Parmley 3rd, and James Tiernan in that 4th and the final starting spot. So we'll see if we can get the tropical depression to bring the car around for us and chat with us. See if we can get him into chat this evening. He brings us around, stops her on the front stretch. We'll wait for him to join us here in the Discord. Just to watch. There's Mason Hannigan. There he is. Let's make sure we got his volume up good. Mason Hannigan, got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you're going to start it on the pole this evening for 55 laps here at the Chili Bowl. What do you think the chances of bringing the 1X home on top of the podium at the end of this thing are?
Well, it's going to be long. It's 55 laps, and there's a lot of heat behind me. And Huey, Bowman, all them guys, all the M9 guys, Tiernan and Rumsey, and a couple other guys are going to be fast all night. And yeah, obviously Tuesday night when I run the prelim, it was pretty good and got on the pole here, the pole shuffle, and obviously I want to be controlling the pace here. 55 laps is a long time, and just kind of want to set the pace, and if we get past, that'll be all right. But as long as it's not on the last lap, then we'll be all right.
Well, you're out there for a few laps, man. What's the track look like, and where do you think it's going to be the best racing at?
Yeah, I think I don't know, honestly. It's the bottom's going to be good there at the end, I think. I feel like the top's going to be pretty good. Slider, pretty good there, obviously, here in the dash. And we'll have to see. 55 laps is a long time, and by then it'll probably be dead slick and to the wall and very little grip on the bottom. So we'll see. And, hopefully we can bring this one home.
All right, man. Well, good luck out there tonight. Thanks for chatting with us here after the pole shuffle, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you on the podium at the end of this thing.
Yep, thank you.
Your pole shuffle winner in the 1X, the Little Hurricane, Mason Hannigan. Ethan Huey's going to start second. He's going to start on the outside of the row, and you heard Hannigan mention his name as far as the heat coming from behind. So if Huey can do something on the outside of that front row and grab the lead, he may set the pace, and then that'll give Hannigan a chance to maybe see, where's the weakness, where's the spot. We're going to make a move, and late in this thing we might see some really interesting racing as drivers look like they're going to go out again for just a little bit of warm-up. So let's grab Ethan Huey real quick. Ethan Huey.
Yep.
All right, man, you're going to start that car second tonight. You got to start on the front row with Hannigan. What are you going to do to try to grab the lead early?
Hopefully I could just make a move early on and then just stay out front. That's the plan. plan.
Where do you think the best racing's going to be? Because we're starting to see the track starting to shine just a little bit, especially at the exits of these corners. Where do you think you're going to find the best racing line at?
The fastest line?
Yeah.
Maybe Slider right now. But there should be some good racing up the front and in the middle. We've been practicing with a lot of these guys, and we've had some good races so far, so should be a good one tonight.
Well, it's 55 laps. It's a long ways. A lot of patience, or are you going to get aggressive early?
I'm just going to try to hold on to it and maybe try to make a move later on.
All right, man. Well, good luck starting off the front row. Hopefully we get a chance to talk to you into this thing, at least up on the podium, if not on the very top step.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
Ethan, you're going to start outside that front row. He's going to be next to Mason Hannigan. So we'll see. See what happens on the front row. 55 laps, like these guys said. That's a long ways. It's a long time to be out there. Track going to change quite a bit before they get to the end of it. I think final lineup's getting set. They're putting things together. We know where everybody's going to start now. So now it's just getting all 20 cars out there for 55 laps. Kind of watching Justin Stoles make a few laps here. Noah Bowman with 2 car. There's Rylan Gray right behind him. And when it comes to these little open wheel cars, especially the cars with no wings on them, we're used to seeing that 6 car make a lot of noise. He usually goes to the front of just about everything he drives if it don't got a wing on it. So we'll see how Rylan gets things done tonight. Connor Mirabelli here. That's the black car with all the bright colors on it, the orange and the purple. That 9 machine. Ben Hamilton cheering on the Dirt Track Terror there. So is Dan. Dan's in the chat also. Those guys over on YouTube. Thanks for chiming in, fellas. Appreciate everybody staying up late with us. We know this one's getting to be a late one, but all that is left is the 55-lap A main for the 129 Promotions Chili Bowl Nationals. Only 20 drivers remain. I saw Bryson over there on Facebook. He's looking for Grayson Springer to do something here tonight. All right. It is time for tonight's 55-lap A main from the Tulsa Expo Raceway. 1-2-9 Promotions Chili Bowl Nationals getting ready to roll off. That is not your starting lineup, folks. In fact, that isn't even close to your starting lineup. We know that it's Hannigan and Huey on the front row. Drivers going to get shuffled around. They'll get into their positions, I believe, under the pace laps. Well, the old Dirt Track Terror has been around for a long time. We gave him that nickname over here at DRN a long time ago, and it has stayed with him. So every time we see James out here on the track, doesn't matter what series it's in, we like to see the fans get involved and cheer a driver like that on. So they'll start to shuffle around. We'll get back here. You can see the drivers starting to move around. They're going to get into their spots. There's your front row. I'm not sure where Noah Carpenter's at, but Parmley and Tiernan are going to make up that second row. And then Soros and Rumsey in row 3. Hughes and Miller, row 4. Key and Stevens, row 5. Stoles and, I believe, Bowman in row 6.
All right, man. Light you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
So we're going to hold it up. We're not getting that green flag just yet. Still got a couple of drivers that are not in their proper positions. And don't want to start with everybody in the wrong spots, so we're going to
all right, man. Light you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
I believe we got a problem. Jace Parks' car is in the infield. Aiden Myers
All right, man.
and Austin
Light you back
Drakey
on the pace car.
also
We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
in there. Noah Carpenter's car. He is in the middle of this thing. But it's showing him at the front, and that is incorrect. So it's showing him nearly a lap ahead of the field. So I think they're going to have to slow things down. He's going to have to pull out a line, and he is going to have to drop all the way back and let the leaders pass him, because he is somehow scored over 20 seconds ahead, and under pace speed, that's about right. That's about a lap. So now it looks like the pace truck going to head in. Looks like we're going to get a green flag here. Hannigan and Huey, green flag in the air. 55 laps for the Chili Bowl Nationals. Lap number 1 in the books. It's going to go to Mason Hannigan. Huey and Parmley side by side. 4 seconds. They are 2 wide, 3 deep behind your leader right now. That time Parmley really bumps into that berm on the inside. Got the car a little out of shape. Didn't slow him down a bit. He grabs second behind Hannigan. Huey third. Tiernan in fourth. Soros up to the 5th spot. Soros and Tiernan had a problem in the pole shuffle, and now they're side by side once again as they go through 3 and 4. Caution for the first time this evening. Gage Stevens gonna have a problem. Stevens. Oh, yeah, right there. He got a little bit of help. 48 car gave him just a little help, and so that not going to be conducive to a good finishing position this evening. So Gage Stevens in the infield on the hook, and he's going to be the first retiree this evening. Hannigan, Parmley, Huey, Soros, Tiernan, Hughes, Rumsey, Key, Miller, and Stoles the top 10. Carpenter, Hathaway, Gray, Springer, Bowman, Mirabelli, Park, Drakey. Run behind that, Stevens and Janes not on the track currently, as we have 18 drivers still out here. Everybody's still on the lead lap. We're only about 4 laps into this thing. Under the first caution.
All right, man. Light you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
See if they leave the lights on the pace truck off this time and let them go green. And it looks like we are, so we're already around to that back stretch. Green flag back in the air, and once again, Hannigan making a good move there. Get things restarted. This time, Parmley right on the push bar on the back of the 1X. And the top four now broken away all the way to Isaac Soros. Soros, the all-black machine you see there in fourth. Hughes. And Hughes had a great run through the pole shuffle until about race number 4, and then that's where his pole shuffle ended. But he is now inside your top 5 as he grabs 5th from Logan Rumsey. Rumsey, the 41 machine, that's the black car with the green trim, up on the top. Tiernan's in behind that in 7th. Then Kean 8th, Miller 9th, and Stoles and Carpenter side by side for 10th and 11th right now. Here comes Rylan Gray. Gray up to the 12th position. We'll go back to the front. Watch the top 2. Top 3 for sure right now is Soros, the first car in that top 4 to try to go up to the top and see if there's any momentum running right along the cushion up there. Hannigan, steady, smooth, keeping the pace. 11-second laps right now for these guys. Big brush with the wall for Soros. Soros with that 2 car. A little bumpity bump to the outside fence. There you see that white dust that comes off of those concrete barriers. Good run. Getting into a long green field right now. We'll watch from the 3 and 4 turn end of it. Here goes Parmley to the top now. Parmley trying to go after the leader, Hannigan. Has the momentum into the corner. Does he have it coming out? It's still Hannigan running right around the bottom. Get the drone cam going. You can see the top 4. Parmley still working the top. Hannigan still able to hang on. Here comes Soros. Soros went to the bottom. He's going to work for second with Parmley. We'll get back out here where we can see the action coming out of 2 down the back stretch. There's a gobble of cars right there in 3 and 4. And my goodness, they were all over one another. It started with Rumsey in the 5th spot. He had Hughes, Tiernan right there.
All right, man.
And caution again. This time Jace Park has got a problem. Let's go see what happened to Jace. Maybe it wasn't Jace Park. Yeah, there he is. There's Jace. Down the back into 1 and 2. Yeah, he got in there pretty hot. Yeah, you can't get in there that hot. You get in that hot and your eggs are going to be fried. So getting close to halfway. 22 laps in the books. And Hannigan, Soros, Parmley, Huey, Rumsey are the top 5 right now. Then Hughes, Tiernan, Miller, Carpenter, and Stoles the top 10. Rylan Gray 11th. Then Hathaway, Keat, Bowman, Springer, Mirabelli through the top 16. That's all the drivers on track. Everybody from Park on down finished for the evening. Winner tonight picking up a couple $100 here. I think it's $250 to win is what I read. Green flag back in the air. Hannigan once again. He was getting pressure from Parmley early, but then Soros went to the bottom and worked his way up to second. We'll see what happens here. Soros with the slider line through 3 and 4. Hannigan got in, put the left front up on the berm. It pushed him up the hill. Out of 2, he does the same thing in 3 and 4. The car didn't want to turn and go. And caution once again this time, Justin Stoles. And Stoles. Right there, that white car with the light red color. I think he's going to clip the wall right here. Yep, got the right rear end of the wall going down the back stretch. Tumble, tumble, flip, flip. That's never in your favor. So creeping in on halfway. 22 in the books. 33 to go. You see Hannigan up to the top. He's looking to see if there's anything up there that maybe gives him an advantage. How close can he get to the fence? Where is the berm at? Where is just marbles? Where's the fence? We'll see if maybe the 1X has a different approach now as we go back to green. He was around the outside. Went to the inside 1 and 2, goes to the inside 3 and 4, and he's going to continue to lead. He's led it from the drop. Soros second. Huey in the third spot. Now Parmley is battling on the top side, trying to take third away from Huey. And Ethan Huey hanging on. Logan Rumsey now down, and he is in tow. That time Huey slider line. That may open the door for Rumsey to get there. Rumsey slides through and gets into fourth. That slider line may be your friend, maybe not. For Ethan Huey. 32 machine now battle for the lead in front of that. Soros has the inside as Hannigan trying to run the slider line, or trying to run the outside, not the slider. He's sliding in low and going right to the top on the exits. That time catches the fence, and there goes the Hurricane.
Caution is out.
What a ride for Mason Hannigan. In the lead in a battle with Soros. Good move into 1 and 2. Right rear is going to catch the fence, and it turns the car far enough. The right front catches it. And that's going to do it for Hannigan. So, he's led about the first half of this thing, and then trouble, and that shakes everything up. So now it's Soros, Huey, Rumsey, Parmley, Tiernan in the top 5. Hughes, Carpenter, Miller, Gray, and Hathaway in the top 10. Only 14 cars still in this thing as we are 28 laps into it. Make it 29. Still got 26 to go. Key, Bowman, Springer, and Mirabelli rounding out the field. Pace truck going to head in. Green flag back in the air. Huey tried to time it up, and Soros held him for just a split second longer. Now slider line for the top 2. Rumsey kept it locked in on the bottom. He runs third. He is going to stay right down there. Parmley behind that, and Tiernan behind that, the top 5. Tiny gap. I saw Hughes trying to hold off Miller, and Miller poked his nose in out of 2. Couldn't do anything with it. Slowed him up enough. Now Noah Carpenter is going to make a run at Kenny Miller. Carpenter on the top side drives it deep into 3 and 4, right out to the fence. Side by side right there. This is the battle for 7th and 8th right now. Soros starting to get away from these guys. 1.3 seconds that time over Ethan Huey. Rumsey right down there on the bottom. James Tiernan's going to the top. He is going to try to use the momentum line and run right in the ragged edge. See if he can go forward, but that time Rumsey goes slider line in 1 and 2. Tiernan's going to have to do something different. Parmley not done yet. He's trying to get back in there. He's looking for an open door. Anybody in front of him that makes a mistake, and he'll jump right in there. 20 laps to go, 19 this time by. There goes Soros across the line. He's 1.4 seconds ahead as Rumsey moves Huey up the hill, and the door is open now. Logan Rumsey makes his way to second. Move Huey back to third. Tiernan is fourth, and Tiernan's not done. Tiernan's going to keep Huey pushed on the outside, and he's going to try to use the bottom to get on the podium. Move Tiernan to third. Side-by-side battle now between Parmley and Huey for fourth. You get out of line, it's just like a freight train, and you're not going forward on it, that's for sure. You're going to go right to the back. As they work out of four down the front stretch, still side by side. Now Parmley with about a 1 car length advantage. He works down on the inside. Huey still working up top. 1.5 seconds. Soros over Rumsey out in front. James Tiernan closing in on Logan Rumsey. A foot here, 6 inches there. That time Parmley bounced the front end across the berm on the inside. We'll watch the 98 machine of James Tiernan. He settled into third. We're down to 13. It's going to be 12 to go this time for Soros. Soros across the line. We're going to be inside 10 to go. Things picking up. It's going fast now. Rumsey still second, Tiernan third, Parmley third, Huey or fourth. Parmley was fourth, Huey was fifth, Hughes sixth, Gray up to seventh. Watching our leader, he's going to be in lap traffic. I don't know if he's going to get there before we clip 10 of these laps off. Mirabelli. And the lap's about the same. Last lap time, 11:22 to win 11:24. So we may not see lap traffic become a factor in this race. Isaac Soros. 8 laps to go. Rumsey now closing the gap. It was 1.4 about 4 laps ago. It is down to 0.8 of a second. Same lap time the last lap, 48 to a 50. Gap looks to be physically closing. That split time on the pylon shows that Rumsey a tick quicker. Lap car may be a factor, may not. Right now it's Mirabelli. He's coming out of 4, and the leaders just about 20 car lengths back, but there's only 4 laps to go.
All right, man, caution is out.
Caution late in this one as Noah Carpenter is going to give us a restart with about 4 laps to go. Carpenter, the 42 car. Down the back. Is he going to catch it? Yep, he caught it just like Hannigan did. Pretty much the same result. So, with a 3-lap shootout, Soros, Rumsey, Tiernan, Parmley, Huey, the top 5, then Hughes, Gray, Miller, Hathaway, Key, Bowman, Springer, and Mirabelli. 13 cars still on the track. Everybody's still on the lead lap. We were about to get to lap traffic. I'm not sure with just 3 or 4 laps to go that it was going to be a factor. I don't think he was going to have to work around that lap car. But a 3-lap shootout, lights off on the pace truck. This is going to wrap this thing up. Soros, Rumsey, and Tiernan right now the top 3. Parmley right there in 4th, just waiting. Waiting to see what the leader does. He jumps on the throttle. Good restart for everybody. Up on the berm. You can't make a mistake like that this late in this thing. As Rumsey goes to the top side, try to use the momentum. 2 laps to go. Rumsey going to the top, opened up the door. Here comes Rumsey. Got the door slammed on him. Gets punched from behind by Tiernan. Tiernan trying to hang on to 3rd. White flag in the air. The battle is going to be for 3rd, it looks like. Parmley muscling Tiernan out of the way. That on the white flag. No caution coming out. It's going to be Soros, Rumsey, and Parmley are top 3 tonight. Huey in 4th, Miller in 5th. So we'll talk to our top 3 here in just a moment. Just waiting. Let's get Cody in here and chat with him real quick. Cody Parmley. Got a copy.
Oh, I didn't. I think it was
Cody, you
James
there, buddy?
that got there. Yeah.
Hi, Roger Wagner up in the booth. 3rd place tonight. It looked like that last couple of laps was a kind of a dogfight with you and Tiernan. What was going on there?
I tried to get around him, but I accidentally pushed him out the way and kind of spun him out. But that was my bad.
Last lap, white flag. You're coming to the checks, and I'm not going to say anything goes, but if you got to muscle a guy, sometimes you got to muscle a guy. And, they call that racing, I guess. So you come home 3rd tonight. How tough was it out there on the track? And it looked like guys were fighting for positions all over the place, and they were moving everywhere.
It was hard. I got held up in the start by Mason, but once everyone got around me, I couldn't go anywhere. I was just stuck on the bottom, trying to do the best I could.
Well, an awesome run nonetheless, and I'm sure in this field, the driver's 3rd place has got to make you feel pretty good. You got some shout-outs, some thank yous for us?
Yeah, I would want to thank 129 Sim Sports and M9 Setups and Isaac Soares for putting on this show. Also, Trent Pullman Designs.
All right, man. Well, a great run. Congratulations on your 3rd place finish tonight, and good luck with the rest of your midget season.
Thank you.
Cody Parmalee finishing in 3rd. I don't know who this is. Let's find out. Who do we got here? Is this Logan?
It's Tiernan.
Oh, hey, what's up, Tiernan? Man, tough luck at the end of that thing tonight, brother.
Yeah, I'm still kind of unsure what's going on. They said they just gave me 3rd or something like that. I'm still not sure.
Well, we were talking to Parmley about that, but man, we'll do the same interview with you. It's not a big deal. That last couple laps was pretty interesting. There was a lot of jostling, a little bit of muscling going on. I know you restarted in 3rd, and then you end up sideways down to 1 and 2. So, from the cockpit, what'd you think was going on right there?
Man, you're really just looking for any single gap you can find down there. It's tough making that pass. You can't even really do the slider line because you got that car low still. You're just going to clip his bumper. So it's you mentioned it, the muscle. You got to do it like when you have the opportunity. Granted, the space is there and whatnot, but it's the Chili Bowl, man. It's tough race, tough passing. Just happy to kind of be up there for as long as I was, and just kind of missed some stuff I think earlier in the race. And then went back to 7th, worked my way back up, and can't be happier.
Well, a lot of fun. I know you had a lot of fans in the chat cheering for you. We were kind of going back and forth. I know Ben and Dan were in there watching for you, man. Some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you get a little rest and relaxation in before you get the big celebration for 3rd place tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, as always, like to thank Roofco and Ergot Real Estate. Would also like to thank Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, Catch Fence Apparel, Paints by the Tuna Can, Flow Racing. God, I'm so tired I can't even speak. Anderson Speedway, Motorsports Beat, Jessup Logistics. And then finally, I'd like to thank you guys for putting the broadcast on. Thank you, Roger. Hopefully you kept my fans entertained. Hopefully I was doing that too. And then finally, I'd like to thank Isaac Soares for putting this all together because especially with all the tricky stuff he had to do where he didn't quite have the heats set up. He had to do it manually. That's a ton of work. All props to him. And shout out to all my fans out there, especially the Hamiltons.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you back on the network here pretty soon.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll see you Monday.
All righty, buddy. James Tiernan, the Dirt Track Terror, finishing the 3rd. I know we talked to Cody Parmalee, but apparently there were some adjustments that were made, and so Tiernan is going to end up officially with 3rd. Let's talk to 2nd place Logan Rumsey here. Logan, you there?
Yeah.
Well, a good run tonight, man. It looked like you were kind of closing in. You just kind of ran out of time there at the end of this feature. How tough was it to find spots and to find some grip out there on this very slick Chili Bowl racetrack?
Yeah, I just knew I'm starting sixth, even though it's up front. It's kind of like the real Chili Bowl. You're not really gonna win it from anywhere off the front row, basically. So I just knew it would take the whole race to get to the front, and it did. And then I got to second, but then Isaac was just way too far gone, couldn't catch him.
Yeah, still a great run, and you had to work for some spots to get there. How tough was it to find any kind of space to pass anybody? Because the last couple of laps on that restart, we saw a lot of guys using a little bit of muscle to move cars and pick up spots. How tough was it to make a pass and find any sliver of opening so that you could get around somebody?
Yeah, it's definitely really hard to pass. If someone's rolling around the bottom right in front of you, you kind of gotta wait for them to mess up and try to stick your nose in there. Sometimes you hit them, and sometimes they wreck, you wreck, or something happens. So you kind of have to hope you don't wreck when that happens. But that's like the only way to pass. You gotta move them out of the way here.
Well, an awesome run nonetheless. Second, nothing to hang your head about, especially in this group of guys. You got some shout-outs and some thank yous for us?
Just Isaac for putting up the race, and Gage Stevens for spotting me.
All right, man. You going to be at the shootout this year?
Yeah.
Well, we get a chance. We'll drop up there. We'll say hi to you. Good luck up there in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Logan Rumsey finishing second. Now we're going to talk to the man of the hour. He puts the whole thing together. He does all the crazy manual thises and that's, and believe me, I know how difficult that is. Then he crawls in the car and goes out here and picks up 8 spots and wins this thing after a really good race with only 2 or 3 cautions in it. Isaac Soros, how you feeling, buddy?
I'm still kind of shaky. It was a lot of fun. Makes this whole month kind of worth it.
Well, it's been a long week, I'm sure. And tonight, I mean, having to go through all of the soup and manually, you guys handled everything. Then you get out there in the car. You were probably exhausted before you ever even took a lap in the 55-lap feature tonight.
Yeah, that was kind of more of a pain than I thought it was going to be. I'm sorry to anybody watching that was probably very, very confused as to lap and order and who transferred and who didn't, but that was the best we could kind of do to replicate the Chili Bowl. But yeah, it was a long night for sure. It was fun. I'm looking forward to when we get to do it again.
Yeah, and it looked like you were moving around. You tried the top for a little bit. Then you went to the bottom. You picked up a few spots. How much of the track changed from the start of that feature until the end?
It changed a lot. I thought the top was in early on, or at least that slider line was in, and it felt like I was making some headway on Ethan and Cody, and kind of when I would get there to make a move, a yellow would come out, and happened a couple times, and finally they switched to come up top, and so I just stuck the bottom and luckily snuck through there. And then I think Mason and I were side by side, and he just maybe made a mistake, but hats off to him. I mean, he was fast, he deserved the pole, and it was going to be a heck of a battle for sure if he didn't get into that back straightaway wall.
Yeah, so he gets into the wall and makes your job really easy after that. Did you put it on cruise control? Because we saw you get out there to about 1.5 seconds on those guys.
At first it was cruise control, and then I think Logan closed it down to about a half a second over 10 laps. So I was getting a little nervous, but it all ended up working out just fine. I was real nervous going into that last restart. As you can see, I made a mistake going into one and jumped the berm, and thought Logan was going to get me, but bounces rolled my way and ended up coming out with a win.
Well, an awesome run, picking up the win, $250 to the winner. Is that what I read on there? The big check?
I believe so.
Yeah, the big check going to you, man. Some shout-outs, some thank yous. We'll let you pop the cork on the champagne and celebrate a big win tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to thank all my guys over at M9, especially Cody and Ethan. I mean, they worked with me tirelessly this week. We put on probably 30 of these things and got sets dialed in, and all the money that was won tonight's just going back into pots for future races for guys like these that want to come out here and have fun. The midgets are kind of a dying thing on iRacing, but hopefully they can make a comeback with some good money races, and hope to see some more cars.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the win. We'll look forward to seeing you back on the network as soon as possible, and good luck with your future endeavors.
Thank you, sir.
Isaac Soares picked up the win tonight. Takes home the big check. He wins. I got messages. Okay. They cleared up the penalties. Sorry. Didn't see that early enough, but he picks it all up tonight. In the 1-2-9 Promotions Chili Bowl Nationals, let's take a look at the finishing results. Soares wins it. Rumsey was second. And officially, Tiernan was third. I don't know where they penalized Parmley to. I'm going to say he's probably the last car in the lead lap, which is probably about 10th. He and James Tiernan will swap spots. So Huey 4th, Miller 5th, Hughes 6th, Hathaway 7th, Springer 8th, Bowman 9th, then Parmley 10th, Gray, Key, Mirabelli, Carpenter, Hannigan, Stoles, Park, Drakey, and Stevens. And then your 20th place finisher was Zach Janes. And I'm not even sure Janes made the call for the feature. So he'll get scored 20th there, but I don't think that he was actually out on the track. I want to say thank you to 1-2-9 Promotions for getting us over here to do this. We had talked about this earlier. It was going to be 3 or 4 nights, a whole week, basically. And, they carved us down to just the one night. And I kind of wish we would have got to see everything, so we'd have been a little more familiar with the drivers. And I know that was a little disjointed with the manual stuff. But when you run a manual show, and trust me, I'm speaking from experience, it doesn't matter who is up in the booth. If there's not a steady stream of communications, it's hard to follow. And those guys were doing a good job of giving us all the information we needed up here. It's just hard to know exactly who's in 5th and 6th when the scoring isn't live like it was there for the feature. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We did the best we could with what we had to work with. I thought the show was really good, not just from our part, but from the driver's part and from the event part. I think those guys did a great job. I know how hard it is to run one of those manually. We'll be doing it in a couple of weeks, and it's always a nerve-wracking thing for the promoters to do. But great show, a lot of fun. Don't forget to tune in next week for all of the shows. You're going to get 6 of them over those 4 nights, and then that following week after Christmas, all 5 nights for the Triple Crown Showdown at Dirt Slingers. Go to their Facebook page, Dirt Slingers Racing League. Go read the post, and if you're interested in running in one of the 3 divisions, get yourself registered. It's going to be a fun one, going to be a big one, going to be a long one, going to be the only one of its kind on the service, so make sure you do that. But I want to make sure that, once again, I say thank you to Isaac for getting a hold of us, letting us do this thing. It was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing all the people up at the shootout and over at the Chili Bowl over the next 3 or 4 weeks. I can't wait to see my guys from Tim Sims up there. I know Cody was watching. I don't know if Tim was or not, but I know Cody was. And I'm going to get the chance to run up there and visit with them. Looking forward to seeing Nathan Davis for the first time. We've been doing this for about 6 years, and we have threatened so many times to get together, and it just never worked out. So I think it will this time. But I want to thank you guys. You guys can watch this stuff anywhere you choose to come and watch it here. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. For Dominic Santino, Zach Krieger, Cody Oss, and myself here at the Dirt Racing Network, thank you so much for being entertained by us, and we'll look forward to seeing you alive the next time. Until then, keep forward to seeing you alive the next time. Until then, keep